Hey everyone, how's it going? iamxeracon here, with a quick video. I didn't expect to actually see you all, right now. I was actually expecting to see you all next year. I didn't have any intention of doing any more videos right now. But, but yeah. So, if you haven't heard already, Disney has bought out 20th Century Fox, Studios. And that's a so-so situation. There is some good in there, but there's a lot of bad too. Um, so I guess I'll get out the good bits first. So with them buying uh, Fox Studios and whatnot, now you can have all of the Marvel characters together in one cinematic universe, and that's great. That's something that sort of people have been wanting for a long time. To have these characters being together, and this can actually happen now. And so that's great and everything. Uh, because there are disputes and stuff because Fox owned this and Disney owned that now. Um, so yeah, definitely a lot of tension and whatnot. And the most recent thing I can think of would even be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. How there couldn't be any X-Men characters in there, even though X-Men started Marvel vs. Capcom. They couldn't be in there because legal issues, because Fox um, owned the X-Men, so they couldn't be in there. Of course, Capcom lied to us as to why they wouldn't be in there, but we all knew why they weren't really in there. But now they can bring back the older Marvel vs. Capcom games and have characters like Wolverine, Magneto, Deadpool, a Sentinel. They can be in there, and I think Colossus was in there as well. So they can now be brought back into the Marvel. They can be brought back. Even for Infinite, they could be DLC characters now. So that's something that's cool. Not sure if that'll probably happen for the DLC part, but I think they definitely could bring back Marvel vs. Capcom. Maybe make like a collector's or a collection uh, compilation game. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so having all of the uh, characters together, that would be great. I can't wait to see how they implement that. And even the upcoming, oh wow, I can't even remember what it's called. Um, it's the mm, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the new X-Men movie that's going to be coming out. That's like a horror film, and to be honest, I think it's a pretty nice twist for an X-Men movie at that. So, it's going to be pretty interesting, seeing that a horror film that's sort of owned by Disney. Um, I mean, I know they've done some horror stuff before, like some scary stuff before, but something like this nowadays, that's pretty interesting to see. And yeah, so overall, that's the good part. In fact, that's the only good part I could say, because the rest of it's pretty bad, considering the fact that look at what Disney owns, and yeah, they're just buying up companies left and right, left and right. Um, they're like the EA of film companies, except they don't run those companies to the ground. um, I mean, it's clear that their greed is like EA, but they're just they're careful with their greed, I should say. They don't publicly um, announce, how greedy they are like EA does. They don't um, they don't run the companies that they buy out into the ground. Like that's the difference between them and EA. Um, but yeah, so look at them. I was surprised many years ago when I found out that Disney owned ESPN. a sports network, all right? I'm thinking, okay, ESPN's separate and stuff, and then one day, and this might have been back when, like, when dial-up was still a thing, or at the least when dial-up was starting to fade out. That might have been when I found out about it. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Yeah, so that was the thing then. Then, Disney. I saw that they co-owned A&E Network. I was surprised to see that. I looked that up, and on Wikipedia saw that. Of course, Disney owns Star Wars, and to be honest, I'm not entirely thrilled with what they've done so far. Um, Rogue One was great. There's no doubt about that. Rogue One was phenomenal, and I enjoyed that. But as far as the continuation, it's just so. It's I'm really not feeling it. And because seven was, let's just be honest here, seven was just a copy and paste of episode four. Let's not kid ourselves here. And to be honest, Ray is, well, not just the writing in general. I mean, Luke goes into self-imposed exile after he failed, quote failed, um, Kylo Ren, and of course Kylo Ren became a Sith. Um, but he goes in self-imposed exile, and it just seems like a complete change of character from what you've seen. And keep in mind now, expanded universe, which I wasn't entirely thrilled about, is now non-canon, which means that anything that Luke would have done in non-canon cannot be applied here. Um, so you have to look at from 1 through 6, and then that Clone Wars Rebels stuff, which I prefer the 2002, 2003 Clone Wars personally. Those I think were phenomenal series, and they were great expanded lore, and they even had one episode where you really show how Anakin starts to sort of lean towards the dark side of the Force. But of course, that's now non-canon because EU is non-canon. But yeah, looking at from episodes from 4, 5, and 6, it is not in Luke's character to be so cynical to just leave and allow this new imperial faction to rise up, and you know it's just so stupid to think about that. And then in looking at the trailers for 8, he is so bitter and he is just such a disdain for the Jedi, and um, the fact that he what am I looking for? Uh, I can't remember what it was, but it's just something else about that. Also, the fact that it doesn't seem like he's going to be coming back to help out everyone. Um, it's because he just seems so mad, and that just seems weird though, because considering the fact that also he feels that, oh, I mean, Leia, even though she's not trained in the Force because her father was also Anakin Skywalker, she still has, some Force capabilities. Um, so, and she's expressed that in, I think 6, she might have felt something. No, 5. 5 when Luke was calling out to her. Not sure. Yeah, well, I'm not sure why he specifically called out to her, but he was able to call out to her, and she was able to, um, I guess, use Force intuition to go back and rescue Luke. Um, and then something happened, I think, in 6 that was also a Force sort of thing. So it's understandable. So if she could feel something was wrong when Han was killed in, by the way, that's a spoiler alert for those who, yeah, I should have said that. It was a spoiler. Okay, so spoiler alert, Han. Also, by the way, I'm probably going to spoil other things for you, so yeah. So when Han's killed, Leia feels that. Uh, why wouldn't Luke feel that? Now you could say, yeah, he might be farther away, but yeah, so the reception might not be that great. However, he's more attuned to the Force, so he would feel something like that. I mean, it's crazy to think of that. And even Obi-Wan in 4, even though they probably would have been close enough to feel it, they would have been close enough to feel it. He would have been close enough to feel it. He felt when Alderaan was destroyed, that he felt everyone on the planet. He felt all of their deaths. So why wouldn't Luke? It doesn't feel like Luke would have known. The way it's shown in the trailers, Luke has no idea that Han's dead, which is so bizarre. And because of that, he doesn't go. Doesn't seem like he wants to go and help the new rebels and stuff. He's just so bitter and angry and stuff. And even Mark Hamill in interviews said that Luke, uh, Luke was so out of character. He doesn't like how Luke was being portrayed. So that's one of the big things I have with that. Of course, Harrison Ford got what he when he finally got to die in Star Wars. So yeah, he got what he wanted. Uh, and then Rey. There's Rey. Rey is. I have no idea. Unless they say something like she's the daughter of some great Jedi or something like that. There's no way to explain how she was, going to be so great. Like, she is, like, perfect, as you can say. Because, sure, you have Anakin. Anakin wasn't descended from some great Jedi. However, he was the destined chosen one as part of a prophecy to bring balance to the Force. And even then, he wasn't perfect. He failed at times. However, through training, he became a great Jedi and a great Sith. But Rey, she gets things right off the bat, left and right, going bam, bam, bam. Um, I mean, seriously, she is able to use the Force and using Force techniques which she doesn't even know about. I mean, seriously, she is able to use Force persuasion on the two soldiers, and she's never used Force persuasion. She doesn't even know what it is. I mean, seriously, she hasn't even had an inkling of training, and yet she is able to just, like, use the Force, like, so well. And to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed at Kylo Ren. Well, apart from the fact that, he's just a very angsty, uh, like, person, like, ugh, I want to be like Darth Vader, notice me, senpai. Apart from that, the fact that, okay, sure, Finn was trained for combat because, that was his thing. However, he was I guess you could say he's a low-class warrior, stealing that from Dragon Ball Z. But there's no way that he should have been able to inflict that much damage on Kylo Ren when they fought at the end of 7. And you could also say that, what am I going to say? That because he was damaged, he wouldn't be able to um, be as effective against Rey then. But the fact that Rey was able to hold her own and possibly best him is ridiculous. Alright, so Kylo Ren, he's had years of training. He trained with Luke Skywalker, a Jedi Master. And then he had training with Snoke, who is, most likely a Sith Master. And yet, she is able to best someone who's had years of training, even though she has had no training whatsoever. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? Seriously? This is such broken writing that they're making a perfect character without thinking about the implications of storytelling, you know, and it's just like they're going to possibly make her so OP by the time the new trilogy is over. And I'm just like thinking to myself, the looking at the trailer stuff for the next one, she's pretty much going to be like, so great. And I am not actually looking forward to seeing 8 at all. And that's very upsetting to me because, I remember growing up, I was looking forward to seeing the new trilogy, and at first when 7 was coming out, I was mad because I didn't think that the series should continue. Um, and then, of course, because after watching it, just because it felt so Star Warsy, I was in a state of euphoria, so I enjoyed it. But then afterwards, after I like snapped out of that, then I realized, no, no, this is bad. This is bad. Disney, this is bad. Okay, the fact that they're going to milk the franchise now after Episode 9, there's going to be making new Star Wars films like Rogue One, and they're going to be having Star Wars movies popping out, just spitting them out consistently forever. Okay, um, so yeah, that's one of the bad things that has happened with Disney buying things. Oh man, there was something else too that I had in my mind. Oh yeah. Yes, and there's something else with that too. So Disney also imposed like a new rule for people who are going to be showing Star Wars 8 Last Jedi in theaters, where now they want more of a cut from the films. I can't remember if it was like 40 or 50, whatever it is it's got for whatever it was for Force Awakens, it's now bumped up 10%. So if it was 40, it's now 50. If it was 50, it's now 60. All right, they want more money from that than before, and also they have to consistently show it in their largest uh, theaters, like theater rooms, for I think 4 weeks straight, consistently. Nothing else can be shown there for the next 4 weeks. And if the theater fails to comply with these demands, they will charge them. I can't remember. I think it's a 15% fee. So basically, they could possibly be owning as much as 75%, and that's like I said, if it's 60%, and so they could get as much as 75% of income from the box office. That is pure greed right there, and that is I found about this on a video too, um, and I really and because of that I'm actually going to be abandoning Disney. After I'm not going to do it right away, but depending on how, it depends. It depends. Most likely after Avengers Part 2, that's when I'll be abandoning Disney, because I still want to see Avengers 1 and 2. I want to see The Incredibles 2, which I have been waiting years for. Shoot. It's coming out next summer, and I'm just so hyped for that. You have no idea how long it's been. I've been waiting to see that for a long time, and I'm so happy right now. Um, and, depending on how I feel after seeing Last Jedi, it'll be after 9. I might see 9, or I might just read the Wikipedia summary. Because I am not okay with Disney, doing this stuff. Um, and and yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's why I'll be abandoning them afterwards. It's weird because I'm a Disney fan. Oh, and also I forgot one last thing: Kingdom Hearts 3. And also, just to let you know, even though Square Enix is the developer, Disney actually owns Kingdom Hearts, the franchise. So yeah, that's pretty weird to think of. So you have all that going on. So yeah, it's just like, oh wow, Disney owns so much stuff. Um, so yeah, after all that, then like I said, I'll be cutting my ties with them. Sad to say because I've grown up with Disney, like a lot of people have, but this is ridiculous. Um, wait, there was one last thing I wanted to say too. What was that? Disney, something else about Disney. No. So yeah, that was actually it. Um, wow. So yeah, has this has been a pretty interesting rant. So yeah, that's it, everyone. This this should be the last video. I don't think there will be anything else occurring that will be like, hey, you should make another video. So I will see you all in 2018. Also, if you haven't already, check out the 2017 retrospective video. It's not okay. It's just showing what all the major things that occurred this year. Um, and yeah. So until next time, everyone. See you 2018. I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.